What's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolt, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Football Show. Today's episode, top 20 quarterbacks for next season. And it is our beer time breakdown. Jason.
Yeah.
Want to tell the fine public how they can help this TV show, please?
Oh, the beautiful people out there in the world of the YouTube. You can help us out with giving us a little hard press on that subscription button and another hard press on the likes. Even give us some comments. We love the comments. We've been getting some lately, and we appreciate it. And we will go back and be like, hey, yeah, this is awesome. You were right. Blah, blah, blah. Also, you could look for us on Instagram, the Fantasy Football Show. Back to you, Tyler, with news and sports.
So, Jason, before we continue, real quick, are we keeping our Super Bowl predictions?
Oh, hell yeah. Yes.
What were yours? Did you want were you Chiefs and 49ers, or what were you again?
Bengals and 49ers.
All right, that's what I was too. Okay.
I know.
And so, it's funny because I logged into the NFL Fantasy Football Challenge, and it did not come through as my lineup was already set. It had a bunch of blank people there, so I don't know what's going on there. Because last time it was already set because I'm not changing anything. I picked the 49ers and the Bengals from the beginning to go to the Super Bowl, so that's all my whole team is comprised of. But yeah, so I need to go back and check that because I'm kind of nervous it's some kind of glitch.
Yeah, you might want to get on that because I think you're in first place.
Do you hear that, fantasy world? From worst to first, you came here.
Yep. Listen to Tyler's advice, and you can go from worst to first in less than 3 weeks.
It just goes to show that fantasy football is luck, But I did believe in the Bengals and the 49ers, but coming in for this, dude, I'm pretty scared of the Eagles because the Eagles should be favored. I think they might be.
Oh, I'm sure.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes' video of him on his ankle now, it's not good. And all this talk about Burrowhead Stadium, it's like, dude, please do not give them fuel. I don't want any of this. So but still, I still think it's like 50-50, both games almost.
I got a text from Adam Schefter. Oh my God, why can't I think of his name? Adam Schefter, right? And apparently he was letting me know that the Cincinnati for mayor was trying to require a DNA test to make sure that Joe Burrow is the father to Patrick Mahomes.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I'll see if I could go and Adam Schefter. He's so crazy. He sent me all these crazy stuff.
Dude, you're so that's so weird.
I know. I was like, damn.
Shut up.
No, I swear, dude.
No, you did.
I didn't what? Yeah, I was like, here, look. Cincinnati mayor said officials asked Joe Burrow to take a paternity test to confirm he is Mahomes' father.
Sweet.
Bleacher Report, baby.
Oh my God, that's okay. That's weird. It focused.
Tyler, I think it's a joke.
I like your credit card number.
I have fraud protection on it. Besides, if you use it, you will probably get declined, saying there's not enough funds in it. So good luck with that.
Decline. Just like Josh Allen, you will be on the decline.
Yeah. Oh, the regression. So,
getting into this list, people, this is a very important list because what did we learn this year? We learned that having an elite quarterback is a distinct advantage. And I was watching this. I don't like the fantasy footballers' new shorts because they're like, they're just designated shorts. I like the shorts that we do from long videos. I think they're more organic. But he was like, hey, 27 quarterbacks placed in top 12, this year, which just goes to show if you know when to play a quarterback, you don't need to draft a quarterback early. And I'm like, dude, BS, dude. Like, what game did you play this year?
Awesome. Yeah, probably not the same as ours. Maybe I mean, you would see that there was. I said it in earlier in the season in one of our videos. I was like, "Where are the 300-yard passing games? We are barely getting any this year." Every time I was like read off a stat, it was always like 200, 200, 200. Kirk Cousins, he did have a few 300, and I think he might have got a 400 in there. But the passing was not there, and I'm just like, damn, dude. Like if I would have just got a Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts,
Okay.
Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes. Because Patrick Mahomes, he threw for what like 41 touchdowns this year. It's like, dang man, those would have made a huge difference from the quarterbacks that we were getting like later.
Well, so we should premise this. Jason, what I drafted Trey Lance and somebody else, and then Jason drafted somehow, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson fell really far to Jason, so he drafted both. That's 3 busts right there, dude. And they cost us like the beginning of the season, like literally, dude.
Yeah.
And then, I went to Tua and he got concussed and this, and it's like, yeah, like that's great, dude. Oh, if you know which quarterback to start, you can draft a quarterback late. It's like, okay, yeah, you tell me what quarterback that you can start, because NFL coaches don't even know that answer. So it's like, how about, so you were talking about no 300-yard games. I think the first quarterback on our list is obvious, and we've talked about this before when we're playing Apex. Dude, Patrick Mahomes, like consistency week after week to get 20 plus points is like unmatched. So,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. So Patrick Mahomes, I think, is a tier of his own, like because of his consistency. And even without Tyreek Hill, man, like he was getting 300 yard, 303 touchdown games like all the time. So, like if you want 20 plus points guaranteed from your quarterback, man, Patrick Mahomes, and I would draft him late second, dude. I don't even care because of what we went through this year. Like I can find, I can manufacture stuff, but it's like, dude, there's only a certain amount of quarterbacks that are like really good, like, dominating. Whereas running backs all get injured, wide receivers are kind of like hit and miss, and not hit and miss, but once you get past the first 15 or whatever.
No, I'm
So
totally on board with you. And like one of the persons that this reminds me of is like in the early years of Tyler and I playing fantasy football. I feel like with us and our friends, we saw a lot of Peyton Manny going in the second round because for how consistent this guy was. Like this guy, at least this guy was a minimum. This guy was a minimum when he was playing for the Colts, 200 yards and like 2 touchdowns like every game. And I would see with like our friends, he was always going in the second round because he was that consistent. I am seeing the same thing with like Patrick Mahomes, and that's just because of how many times they throw the ball. They don't rely on the run. And when you got Travis Kelsey putting up like 11 touchdowns a game, and that's just a tight end, like this is a guy that he's probably going to be up there. I mean, even with like Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, just because their running game, how they can run makes a huge difference. But if you could get these quarterbacks like early, there is a huge drop off from like getting
yeah.
these guys in the second or third round to like waiting to get like these people that who we waited for this year. We waited to get Dak Prescott. We waited to get Russell Wilson. We waited to get Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Um, if we would have actually drafted like these quarterbacks earlier, and like as a number 2 or number 3 pick or round pick, that would have made a huge difference in our season.
Yeah. So I'm going to premise this by saying there's 4 quarterbacks you want to take. You're going to target, like, okay, so there's a tier, right? I mean, I say Pat Mahomes is by himself, and that's kind of true just because of the consistency and like, his floor is so high, but he can still win you a week. He's never going to lose you a week.
Right.
But yeah, dude, there's 4 quarterbacks that I want. And then I mean, we could talk about like maybe 2 or 3 more, but dude, I'm not waiting on anything. So next year you can't convince me otherwise. Like I don't care. Yeah, if you have like a million followers, fantasy footballers, but we're coming at you. We're coming at you. We've got 68, dude. All we need is one more, and we're 69. And that's a
69,
cool, and that's way cooler than a million.
69 all the time.
So, I mean, number one's pretty obvious, Jason, but Number 2, all the talk about Joe Burrow and everything. I'm still going Josh Allen for fantasy football in the regular season next year. But we talked about this, and I don't care so much for Josh Allen, but the wide receivers, like he does have late games and bad weather. So
Mm-hmm.
fantasy playoffs and stuff, you might be looking at bad weather games, but he still runs the ball so much in the regular season.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. I am going to target him with my second pick in next year's draft. I'm going to have like the 5th pick. So I'm going to probably try to get him mid-second if he's there. If he's not there, I'm getting Josh Allen.
So you like Josh Allen number 2?
I do. I can see him being his number 2. There's a good chance because I have a good possibility that I'm going to probably get Jamar Chase in the first round. That I'll probably try to get Joe Burrow in the second, just to stack. I'm pretty sure we'll see some good stack points in some videos in about 6 months when Tyler does the stacking, the 3 stack, as we say it in the Apex Legend community. But Josh Allen, he did regress a little bit this year, but not enough to make any worry of like, oh my gosh, this guy, it's different. He just looks different. He's not going to score me the points. No, he got the rushing yards, and he will lead his team in rushing. He's got Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox. Beasley was back for the playoffs. He's probably going to be gone again. Isaiah McKenzie there. He's got the options. He could throw the ball. They're just like the Chiefs. They rather throw it than run. They don't like the run game, which is crazy because they have a defensive head coach. Anyway, yeah, maybe that might change with Devil Singletary leaving next year, but we'll see. So I'm okay. I like having Josh Allen as number 2.
So I think he's part of a tier, right? And you like,
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you've got anybody in this tier, say you have say you do have Jamar Chase, or you do have AJ Brown. Like, yeah, I would rather have, if I've got AJ Brown, I'm targeting Jalen Hurts. If I have Jamar Chase, I'm targeting Joe Burrow. If I have Stephon Diggs, I'm targeting that, because you know what, dude, I'd rather have a wide receiver quarterback combo than maybe like a round 1 or number 2 running back, and then just go heavy running backs after that.
Yeah, with this tier that you're talking about, it's a very special tier because this tier you can likely stack a wide receiver from picks in the first and second round. So this is a special tier. I mean, not Patrick Mahomes, because right now, I mean, unless you get Travis Kelce, you want to make you doing shrugs, Tyler?
No, I'm just saying, like, well, I was gonna say, well, I'm picking Justin Jefferson number 1, let's say, and then I'll tell you what, I'm not getting Kirk Cousins. So yeah, as far as stacking, I'll have to worry about maybe my number 2 wide receiver will be stacked with the quarterback, because yeah, dude, my hate for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. You might be the Josh Allen guy, right? Or you might be the Jalen Hurts guy.
Well, if I can do it, if one of those, I'm not going to worry about stacking. Probably, I'm going to
Right.
try to get one of these top 4 quarterbacks. But let's just say, so Jason, would you rather have Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
I think for the consistency and the fact that what we're seeing from the Bills lately didn't look good. Devil Singletary is leaving next year. Stephon Diggs, he's great. He's going to have another year. He's going to be one of the older wide receivers in the league. Man, I think for consistency, I still might go with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Jalen Hurts is awesome, man. He's got two amazing wide receivers where Josh Allen only has one.
Right.
And he runs the ball just as much as Josh Allen. So I was thinking about that too. That's why I put Jalen Hurts right below him. But I've got to respect what Josh Allen has done on a more consistency. He's done this for 2 or 3 years in a row. Jalen Hurts, this is his first year just dominating. And then, what would you rather have, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
See, probably Josh Allen.
And you'd rather have Jalen Hurts over Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah, and the only reason why is because Jalen Hurts is great in the run game, but so is Josh Allen, and that's the only reason why I would put them in front of Joe Burrow. I love me some Joe Burrow, but I mean those picks, you're not going to go wrong with either one of them.
No.
You're,
And
I would still. I'm like, if I'm going against Jalen Hurts and I have Joe Burrow, I'm like, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. If I
and
had Joe Burrow and I'm going against Josh Allen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
and the thing is like, dude, like say you're thinking about like playoffs, like I'd almost rather have Joe Burrow if I'm just thinking like I'm gonna go all in, man. Like I'm gonna win the championship because Jalen Hurts will like dominate, but he's got a much higher percentage chance to get injured, and Joe Burrow, I know you can't predict injuries, but still like the play style for Joe Burrow is I feel like and plus they, so far Cincinnati has turned it on like late every single seasons that Joe Burrow's had. So like I could see where you'd want to take Joe Burrow, but I think that this is the tier. I think Patrick Mahomes is his own tier. Then it's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, and like whatever you like the most, like you can't go wrong, like what you said.
Yeah. Either way, Patrick Mahomes or not, in the second round, you will see my booty getting a quarterback truly.
Dude, me too. And those man, I saw that from the fantasy footballers and I was like, dude, come on, man. I
Yeah.
just I couldn't believe I saw that.
I think it's more of like how it's been the last
Oh crap.
so many years, like 5 or 6 years. I feel like you're going to have that quarterback. You get like Patrick Mahomes in like the third round, Josh Allen in like the fourth round, Lamar Jackson was up there. But then if you wanted to, you could really just wait and just get a quarterback between like the 8th and like 12th round, and you'll be okay. You would be okay with that pick. But this year, you weren't okay with that pick. Those quarterbacks were letting you down this year. You were getting let down by your quarterbacks. There's no way you could tell me otherwise. There was like one of the best players that you could have gotten out of that little tier from like the 8th to like 12 picks was like Dak Prescott, and I know that dude did not win you any championships, and you would be lucky to even take you to a championship.
Man,
You
I would
could
have
have
been
just like waited and got Brock Purdy, who's been more consistent than anything.
Geno. You forget about Geno.
Oh, well, I mean, okay, yeah, like Geno. I was like kind of thinking like later in the year, but
Oh,
actually,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like
yeah,
Geno
sorry.
for sure, right? You could have people were getting this guy off of waivers. I was more talking about people who you drafted, right? I doubt anyone drafted Geno
Right.
Smith, right? Or Jared Goff. Jared Goff late in the season, you were probably picking off of waivers. Justin Fields, maybe, because this year he was just like running like crazy. Oh, we got a Pinocchio here
Okay, Jason.
on
So
the news.
next tier has 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, so that one we just did at 3, right? So Patrick Mahomes' his own. Then we've got Jalen Hurts, or we've got Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow in there, and theirs. Now, next up, I have Justin Fields, dude,
Yeah,
because that fool like went nuclear. Like, I mean, his ceiling is like 50 points.
yeah.
So it's kind of hard because I mean, I think all these people are almost in the same tier. But dude, Justin Fields, and we need to see how the offseason goes. And it sucks that he has a defensive coach, and it doesn't look like anything's changing there. But even with the defensive coach, man, like that was like that like 5-game stretch or 4-game, whatever it is, dude. I don't care. It's almost worth the gamble. It's like Lamar Jackson and his, nobody thought Lamar Jackson was going to do well. People drafted him, and oh my god, dude, like they got so much out of him. So I'm not. You can get Justin Fields later than like some of these people. Like you are going to get Justin Fields. I don't know, dude. Even his name recognition is going to get him so high now. What do you think about Justin Fields?
So I think you noticed if you had Justin Fields or you were watching him on the waivers for many weeks, they were trying to figure out that system, right? They were like, we're good with what we got. We could have him just throw the ball like 20 times and we would do well. No, right? Your number one option, which is Cole Kmet, wasn't even being used in the seasons, right? So what do you got to do? You got this speedster. He needs to run the ball. You got a defensive quarterback, so or defensive coach, so they like to run the ball. You just change the script, right? You just change the script and you start running with your quarterback. He's a young dude. If he gets injured, he did get injured. I think he missed like a game, maybe 2 games. But that guy showed that just like he had multiple rushing touchdowns that were 40 yards and plus, right? He was burning everybody. You couldn't tackle this guy. When this guy turned into a running back, he looked like a running back that you couldn't catch.
Well,
So with
Jason,
that means, oh yeah, go.
no, you go. That means what?
I was going to say, with that being said, they have a top 3 draft pick, I believe, going into next season. They might go to offensive line. They might go to wide receiver. Any one of those picks would help him tremendously, and he would, I feel like, be worth another look in a tier 3 for quarterbacks that you could be able to pick.
Dude, or because even people were saying that they need to trade Justin Fields for like a couple ones, and then they can select that Stroud guy from North Carolina. I think you're a North Carolina guy. Is it North Carolina?
He's from Ohio State. CJ
Stroud?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought maybe next year. Next year with the dude
Williams.
with Caleb Williams, and then this other guy from I think North Carolina.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. He can't even go to the draft. He's too young.
Okay.
Got to play one more year.
So that's why everybody's just kind of going to tank next year. But yeah,
the next Patrick Mahomes. That's what people say. That's what people say.
But Justin Fields, dude, like, it's kind of hard because like you already saw a ceiling, and like my next guy up is Trevor Lawrence, and like, dude, this is all like offensive coach, second year system. Like, this is a developing, like, you have not seen his ceiling, and it's like, where Justin Fields is the type of player who's going to have his best games when he's young, in his first 3 years, probably like a Lamar Jackson. Trevor Lawrence is just going to keep on getting better and better and better. We don't even know what his ceiling is. So it's like you're kind of betting on Justin Fields to have one of his great years early, but Trevor Lawrence, man, like, he could easily outperform Justin Fields,
Yeah, and I still think the best is yet to come for Trevor Lawrence. He's going to have another year under Doug Peterson, and then next year he's going to get one of the best weapons. I think Evan Ingram is probably his best weapon because he could be a pretty good tight end. But for wide receiver, getting Ridley, we're going to see even more. The running game, year number 2/3 for ETN. I see another big jump for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence phone home.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally would take Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields, but just knowing what, like, Justin Fields, man, like, just think about what you could have traded him for during the season, dude. Like, everybody was like, he was a hot waiver pickup. They picked him up, and then it was like, oh my God, this guy's like he's going to win you a championship. You could have traded him for almost anybody in the league at a certain point during the year. So I had to give Justin Fields his respect, but like I said, I would rather have Trevor Lawrence, and then Justin Fields Jr. Not Justin Fields Jr. Justin Fields Sr. Lamar Jackson is up next. And who would you rather have? Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields?
I think as of right now, as of January 27, 2023, I would have Trevor Lawrence.
Me as well, but like I said, I just have to respect the crazy explosiveness of Justin Fields.
Right. So,
and like his early, and like I said, his early years are going to be the best. But so what?
So with part of the reason why I wanted to even say that is because Justin Fields is he's that runner, he's got that talent, but because of that running, that guy missed some games this year, right? Is
he built like me if I worked out a lot, he's not like no, like I'm saying, like, dude, what's his name? Like, I love Jalen Hurts. That fool squats 600 pounds. If I squatted 600 pounds, I'll be on a different planet because gravity's got to be different. Like that ain't happening.
Call me John Carter because I'm on Mars squatting 800 pounds.
Well, my bone density is 300 times the average Martian.
I don't even have to drink milk. I breed milk on Mars. Mars, the red planet.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so that would kill me.
I'm lactose intolerant, but I think that would help me just like I don't know, evolve into squatting 800 on we would go there, we would go to Mars and squat 800 and all those like little Martians would just be like, "You are our leader. You're our leader."
No, then they'd listen to us construct a sentence and they'd say, sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, what the heck were we talking about? Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts. He looks like he's more durable. I mean, he was injured too, right? He missed like 2 games because of his shoulder. This what happens with running quarterbacks, right? Running quarterbacks are going to get hit more. They're vulnerable more because they're out there in the field with the bigger linebackers. It's kind of scary. We saw it happen to Lamar Jackson twice in the past 2 years. He hasn't been there for the playoffs for the Ravens. Trevor Lawrence, he's definitely a pocket passer, and he's going to stay in that pocket, and he's going to slice and dice that defense. Slice and dice. You got some dice? Because we're going to slice it.
Ving Rhames. All right. So I've been watching some. Anyway, we'll shut up. Okay, here we go. So that was about who would you rather have? So you'd rather have Trevor Lawrence over? Okay, you have Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields. Do you have who'd you rather have, Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields?
This is probably the most man. As of right now, I think I would have Justin Fields. I feel
Okay,
like he has better. I mean,
injury in youth. He's like a young Lamar Jackson, so it's
he
like,
is. He they that's tough because Baltimore have Mark Andrews, who's he's one of the better tight ends in this league. Lamar Jackson loves Mark Andrews. Cole Kmet is a great tight end who just doesn't get used by Justin Fields. So right now, I'm just thinking, who is the better runner? I think we saw. I think we
Justin
saw
Fields.
Justin Fields running better.
He broke Michael Vick's record, for God's sakes.
He almost did.
Oh, I thought he did, dude. No way.
He almost did.
Oh
I think.
crap.
Well, I mean, let's fact check that because I think he was close, but I think his injury caused him not. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I am drinking, and I am drinking 9% Voodoo Ranger. So
I stick with that 4.5, dog. Okay, but I do want to ask. So you have Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, and you said we have Justin Fields over Lamar Jackson because younger Lamar Jackson, greater rushing ability. He's not getting paid that much, whereas Lamar Jackson's gonna get paid next season probably, or franchise tag, which is gonna be a lot. And then Kyler Murray in that same kind of running ballpark. Do you like Kyler Murray? And it depends. I'm not going to tell you that Sean Payton's taking the Arizona job because I don't think he is. So if Sean Payton does not take that Arizona job, do you like Kyler Murray or Lamar Jackson?
I had Kyler Murray, and he was doing great with what he had until that blade of grass tore his knee up. That's a pretty tough one. So
They're both
hey,
coming off injury too.
so let's just do a timeout real quick because I just want to say that yeah, Justin Fields passed Michael Vick's rushing record. Justin Fields had 1,200 rushing yards last year, and he passed Michael Vick's record of 1,039 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson, I don't know, he got something I can't really see here. Wait, Lamar Jackson, field trades only Lamar Jackson correct. Oh, and during the Fields sits. Oh, so Lamar Jackson still holds the record. So Lamar Jackson holds the record. So Fields sits at number 2 in the single season quarterback rushing list behind Lamar Jackson's 6 rushing yards in 2009. Field trades, only Lamar Jackson. Okay. Lamar Jackson has the record.
He does, really.
Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, then Michael Vick. So he did pass Michael Vick, but he didn't pass Lamar Jackson. Okay. With that being said, Kyle Murray I like Kyle Murray, right? This was like his year where he actually had an injury happen. He didn't have like the best year. I traded for him and he was still giving me points because I feel like he's actually a smart runner where like when he runs, that dude is not getting hit. If he can't slide, that dude is running out of bounds. He does not want to get hit. He is losing. He got better when DeAndre Hopkins disease came into play. But he's actually leaving. Everyone's saying DeAndre Hopkins is no longer going to be there. So Kyler Murray is going to lose one of his targets. If Zach Ertz is still going to be there, I feel like Kyler Murray is still going to be an effective quarterback to draft for next year.
Kyler Murray disease sounds like a real deal. What was it? No, DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
It sounds like it attacks your nervous system.
It does. It's a very serious one. We are accepting donations for the DeAndre Hopkins disease at St. Joseph's Medical.
Okay, so you had Kyler Murray behind Lamar Jackson, right?
You know what? That might be. I might. My gosh.
Oh yeah,
they got to be right there. Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, they got to be right there. I can see myself getting Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, okay. So let's just say Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson, and then who would you rather have, Justin Herbert or? So we have Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields. Would you rather have? Because I think we both have Trevor Lawrence over Justin Herbert, just because of his coach.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sticking around, people. So that sucks.
Yeah. Got rid of everybody else except him.
Justin Herbert, man, if he had Sean Payton or a dude, oh my God, I would draft him so high. But it's a product of his environment, so I have to put him lower. But would you rather have Justin Herbert or Kyler Murray?
Probably Kyler Murray,
dude. And then you'd rather have Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert then, probably, huh?
I think I would have Lamar Jackson over.
All right. Yeah, so the only thing that we disagreed on, well, I think I had Kyler Murray under Lamar Jackson, but I don't mind changing that. And then I do believe in Justin Fields below Trevor Lawrence, but I just had Trevor Lawrence underneath because of the rushing ability. And then I think that's the end of a tier, Jason. So, I think Justin Herbert, because I love Justin Herbert, man. Like but this year he was supposed to explode. He was supposed to be this year's, like, we talk about Trevor Lawrence exploding. Well, Justin Herbert was supposed to explode this year, and Mike Williams was injured. Keenan Allen was injured, but dude, like, that offense limits him so much.
Yeah, he had to go with a bunch of injuries. Didn't he lose like his left tackle, left guard in like the second or third game of the season?
Rashawn Slater, who was like an All-Pro in his rookie year, and now he's coming back next year, so that's great.
He'll be back next year. My only thing is, as of right now, like, we're doing this as of right now, January 27th, 2023, right now at 10:19, the time just changed, p.m. I am going with Lamar Jackson just because of his rushing ability over Justin Herbert. But yeah, people getting a little bit older, right, on the Chargers wide receiver core. We got people who are very injury prone, right? They're made out of Lego sets. Mike Williams. It's hard, especially when they get into, like,
I came up with that.
Tyler,
Ray started laughing, and she's like, Ray started laughing. I thought I was on mute. Ray started laughing. My wife.
I know.
At you, my best friend. I don't know. So yeah, I get jealous when she laughs at things. She's laughing right now because I'm being stupid. Sorry.
Oh dang, man. Ray, I lost my train of thought. Oh, and then when they get into, like, the 5-yard line, it's either it's going to be a rushing touchdown by oh my God, what's their running back name?
Who are we talking about again? I was just
Eckler,
oh
Austin
yeah.
Eckler. So they need a consistent wide receiving core that they don't have at the moment. So Lamar Jackson could run the ball. I like Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert.
Okay, so we're gonna end it here because it's the end of a tier and we have 3 minutes left.
What number are we on?
Let's see. Well, it's gonna go fast from here, dude, because I think the hard decisions were all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait, no, 9. We've only done 9 and we have 20, but it's gonna take half the time on these next ones.
I
So
sure hope so.
I'm sorry. I thought quarterbacks would go fast, but we drink and we start talking quarterbacks. It's kind of hard.
I know. I'm sorry. I need to minimize to like.
Jason, this show's about me. Would you please stop talking?
This is the Tyler Ward footballing show.
It's a Tyler Wood show. You like big turds. I like big turds. And that's the word.
All about that big turd. What's a word? In the toilet? Don't you wish you were a bullet going through the head of a turd?
Ray's eyes are getting bigger and bigger. All right,
Okay.
Jason. Pat Mahomes, a tier by himself. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. That's tier number 2. Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert. That is the end of tier number 3. Tier number 4 is coming up, and we will talk to you right after our really awesome commercial break thing. You should watch it, please. Goodbye. You almost got some behind the scenes because I didn't even tell Jason we were going to record. I just pressed record.
I am blown out of my mind that we are recording right now. I wasn't even looking. I was just like talking to Tyler like this, and my eyes were just like wide open watching him. And he was just like, "Hey, man." And next I know it said, "We're recording." I was like, "Oh, gotta be cool."
I was Tom Cruise in it. They were like eyes wide shut.
That's pretty good. Tom Cruise in it. We're using Tom Cruise. This is the only show that you can find with Tom Cruise as a verb.
If we were all together, Tom Cruise would look like this, Jason. He'd be like this.
He'd be like, "You know what? I know more about Scientology than all y'all."
I was like, "Oh, well, I'm closer to God."
He's like, I sure like
I'm because I'm taller.
I sure like the Cleveland Browns, but you know what? I am a good source of Scientology. Siri on my phone just looked up Scientology. Damn, that's crazy. Okay,
here we go, Jason.
Yeah.
So we got through our last tier. The end of that tier was Justin Herbert. Tom Brady, I have next because, and I'm assuming he's going to go to a contending team, right? He's not going to stick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I also have Aaron Rodgers right below him, and I want to know who you'd rather have.
Okay, so say Tom Brady and then be quiet for 2 seconds.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady, do it again.
Oh.
What the hell is it, dude? I can't hear it.
It's gunshots. Because we're shooting him down. We are shooting him down. I mean, honestly, Tom Brady, I feel like there's still other quarterbacks I would rather get in front of Tom Brady, especially even if it stays with the Buccaneers, which I don't think is going to happen. So the Buccaneers had the worst running game in the NFL this season, right? So they needed Tom Brady to throw the ball. There's a lot of stuff going on with Tom Brady. That dude is getting older. Don't get me wrong, he is the GOAT. He's getting older. He's getting divorced. I'm going to try to get in there on that court and see if I can get anything from alimony because I want to be like, "You're my father," but we'll see if that works. And even if he goes to a better team that has a better running system than the Tampa Bay, I feel like they're not going to really need him that much. So they're going to kill him, according to Tyler.
No, I'm saying there is no running game at the place that he's going to go and succeed. What do you think about the Miami Dolphins?
Okay, so this is if he goes to the Miami Dolphins. We're not going off of analytics. Analytics?
Analytics.
Analytics. Analytics. We're not going off of analytics, Tyler. You know this. We don't do analytics on this show. We go off of you and me and Angel Soft Taylor or toilet paper. But I don't think if he goes there, that's a whole different story, right? But as of right now, if he doesn't, he stays. I don't think. I mean, I really don't think he is. Shoot, I totally lost. I think you're no. I think you're on the right track. I think. Sorry. This is what I was saying before. So even if he goes to a team that has a better running game, they're not going to need him to throw the ball 40 or 50 times every game, right? And I think he showed his age this last season. I think there are quarterbacks I'd rather have before him because of what he looked like going in this season.
Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, if you had to.
I think I would go with Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers, he wasn't getting you. He didn't have a high ceiling, but he had a higher floor because this guy was very consistent at getting around 15 points. There were times where Tom Brady wasn't even giving you 10 points.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers, I think that he's going to leave, and if he goes to the Jets, there was a story out today where there was just an interview with Romeo Dobbs, and he was like, "Hey, man, like, how was it with Aaron Rodgers off the field?" And he's like, "I never, we never saw him off the field. There was zero relationship between him and his wide receivers." And then if he goes to the Jets, it's like, dude, those are rookie wide receivers as well, or pretty much third-year players, second-year players. So, like, unless Aaron Rodgers completely changes, like, it's not going to get any better. But I do like Aaron Rodgers. I still like Aaron Rodgers, but I do ask Jason, Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady?
Okay, hold on. I like the way that you were talking about that because I think it was awesome. And the fact that I saw that article too, that there was the thing that he might go to the Jets. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he's going anywhere, he's not going to do the Brett Favre thing and go from the Packers to the Jets. I think he's going to go somewhere else. But it's like what you said is like he's got nothing but young wide receivers on that team. He's not going to he doesn't appear to be the guy that's actually going to help this young wide receiver core to mature, be better at what they do. He just like wants to go into a team that has wide receivers, a wide receiver core that's going to know what they're going to do. And it's like he doesn't have to do anything except throw the ball to them.
Dude.
So with that being said, I don't think he's going to go to the Jets. I want to be surprised if this mofo even stays with Green Bay. I would rather have Green Bay. I would rather have Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady.
Okay, cool. So we have Justin Herbert, or Justin Herbert was that break, and then we have Aaron Rodgers over Tom Brady. But Jason, I do want to say that I just thought of something like, why everybody's talking about Josh McDaniels getting Tom Brady again? Why wouldn't he get Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers together again? Probably because the cap hit of they're paying people too much over there. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe who? I mean, you got to. You're letting. I mean, you're going to open up cap space by letting Derek Carr, trading him, letting him go, or I'm sure you're going to trade him. It was just like 4 years ago that Derek Carr had the most expensive salary cap in all of NFL history. By letting him go, you're going to definitely open up some space. I can see that being a possibility, but the Raiders are a wild card because they're also a spot that Tom Brady could even land at. To reunite with Josh McDaniels. We're going to have to see how the off-season happen or how it goes.
But that would be pretty awesome, right? Like if Aaron Rodgers went to, I would think that'd be pretty good.
No, I think it would be good to get both of them back, and they're going to have a running game with Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is a free agent. I just heard on Colin Cowherd's show. I didn't know he was a free agent.
Oh, dang. Well, I'm sure like eventually we're going to go over some. We're going to have a video of free agencies, but
I mean, you haven't heard anything about it. I'm sure they're probably going to try to re-sign him.
oh, why not? this was a contract year for him. That's why he blew up the way he did.
But
But
Jason, oh yeah, sorry.
no, go.
Jared Goff, though, like we talked about the two old quarterbacks, like who cares about where the situation is? Would you rather have Jared Goff in the Detroit over the two old quarterbacks?
So this is where I land with Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff has he was probably on the waivers for most of your season, even though he was putting up points. The thing is that Jared Goff, the name itself, and that he plays for the Lions, isn't sexy, right? He's not sexy as a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers. So I could see people not even picking this guy next year to be your number one quarterback. I could understand why people would like him to be your quarterback because he was actually in the top. He was number 10 as ranking for this season. He beat Aaron Rodgers. He beat Tom Brady.
He's like 13 on my list or 14, so
he should be getting picked up in front of them. I think the whole fact that he plays for the Lions, you don't know, right? You got another defensive head coach. You just don't know if this guy can keep performing. He's proven us otherwise. I think there's a good chance if you wait late enough, forget Aaron Rodgers if he's still with Green Bay. Forget Tom Brady if he's still with the Buccaneers. Go get yourself Jared Goff.
So yeah. So I agree with you because I think Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers would be ahead of Jared Goff if they went to the perfect situations. Like I said, like if Tom Brady goes to Miami, I'm taking Tom Brady. If Aaron Rodgers goes to Las Vegas, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. If Jared Goff's, if everything stays the same, I'm taking Jared Goff. And then Jason, would you rather have Geno Smith or Jared Goff?
So before all of this, I'm glad that you brought him up. Jared Goff ended as the quarterback number 5. Number 5.
He ended the second half of the year was like 20 points plus every single game.
So the second half of the year, Kenneth Walker was also blooming as in the running game. I can only picture that this defense is going to be better next year. They've had a young defense. They have great players. They just got to learn to play with each other within the system. Honestly, okay. I would have Geno Smith in front of all those guys. I would have him in front of Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Jared Goff.
So you'd like Geno Smith right behind Justin Herbert?
Yes, I would.
And I would too, man. Because dude, I need to see the contract situation, but if he's got DK Metcalf, and I have DK Metcalf in the top 10 wide receivers, so it's like him and Lockett. He's Seattle was an offense that supported two top 15 wide receivers with Russell Wilson, and you see that he's like, he might be. He's not Russell Wilson in his prime, but he's a lot of Russell Wilson. So I do like Geno Smith over. I think I would rather have Geno Smith over Jared Goff unless I owned, I think it's one of those situations. Like if you have DK Metcalf, go for Geno Smith. If you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you go for Jared Goff. But I think that is the same tier. And then I'm surprised. I want to see how you feel about this next guy, Jason, because I'm surprised you haven't. Maybe you're waiting for him. Dak Prescott. Do you like Dak Prescott over Jared Goff or over Geno Smith?
No, I absolutely.
I think this is a tier then. So because I think Dak Prescott is in this tier, but as a Cowboys fan, I think I should listen to you. But yeah, so because he's not rushing the ball like he once was, dude. Like a lot of times, Dak Prescott was getting a lot of rushing yards and stuff. He's just throwing the ball now. And until they get a second huge weapon, I wouldn't really care if I had Dak Prescott or not. So let's just say that Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady are in a tier with Geno Smith and Jared Goff being at the top, within Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, then Tom Brady. And then you have Dak Prescott out of that tier. How do you feel about Dak Prescott?
I would say Dak Prescott's in that tier. Just so you know that Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Noah Fant are all going to be a Seahawk next year.
Yeah. Oh, I figured I did, and I knew DK, but I didn't because DK just got paid, but I didn't know about Lockett. So Lockett's going to be a Seahawk. That's huge, really.
Yeah, they're all going to be there. Geno Smith is actually an unrestricted free agent, but the Seattle's they're going to pick him up again.
Or franchise them, yeah.
Rashad Penning is an unrestricted free agent. He gone. He out of there. But yeah, I would put Dak Prescott not in the same tier as those people. And the reason why, ooh, the burps are starting to hit me. It's because of the turnovers, right? He, as you said, without a really solid number two, Dalton Schultz is a free agent. He was franchise tag last year. He's likely gone. So they're going to have some like newbie tight end playing for the Cowboys. That they're going to have CD Lamb. Who else? Right? They don't really have a solid number two. We all thought it was going to be Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup wasn't the guy. He wasn't. He could score touchdowns, but he's not going to get a lot of receptions. He's not going to get a lot of receiving yards. With that being said, as Dak Prescott came back from his injury, he threw like 15 interceptions in that time span. I think he was tied for most interceptions throughout the league. It doesn't look good for him. He makes mistakes. He's a great player. He's a player that can make throws when needed, but he's also a player that takes chances and could get burned, kind of like a Brett Favre, right? Brett Favre always like try to take those chances. When you got Aaron Rod, yes,
Oh no, nothing.
am I wrong?
No.
Brett Favre threw a
No.
lot of interceptions, but he is still a great player. What was I saying? Oh, so with that being said, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Geno Smith does not make those same mistakes as Dak Prescott does.
Right. Okay. And then so I put us back to back because we're often compared, Jason. Kirk Cousins right after Dak Prescott because I'd rather have Dak Prescott over Kirk Cousins. Do you like that or no?
I mean, as of right now, I think I would rather have Kirk Cousins.
See, okay, so this is kind of our bias coming in because I'm a Vikings fan, Jason's a Cowboys fan, and we just both had our quarterbacks enter seasons. So I think Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are on the same tier. What do you think about Matthew Stafford next year, Jason?
I don't know about this guy, right? I think this is probably a good tier to have him in because he's had the injury. The Rams look like trash. They've completely flipped. They have Baker Mayfield playing as a quarterback. It's probably, I mean, depending what I hear that's in the tiers after that, I think that's probably a good tier to get Matthew Stafford. Maybe, I think if we're talking about Kirk Cousins, I think you would have Kirk Cousins in the same tier as Dak Prescott, and then you will end that and start a new tier with Matt Stafford. I know this is what you're talking about when it comes to bias. You're a Vikings fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I mean, Kirk Cousins, he still put up quite a bit of numbers. He entered the league as number 7 in quarterbacks.
Yeah, man, I had him for a while. Jason is my second. I had Tua and Kirk because somebody dropped Kirk Cousins. So yeah, like Kirk Cousins he's got an offensive coach. It's the same coach that made Cooper Cup. He's got Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. Like he's got the weapons to succeed. His ceiling is nowhere near anybody else's, but he just has some bad games. He should be super consistent with the weapons that he has, but yeah. So like I think Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins, they both have bad games, and then Matthew Stafford is kind of like coming off an injury. He's like in the same category as those two, but he's coming off an injury. So I think that you're right with that. And then Brock Purdy, Jason, I'm putting up here. So second year jump.
So before going into that, I just want to say like Kirk Cousins, surprisingly, on my side, he only had 29 touchdowns this season. The way that he was having to throw the ball for most of the game, I thought he would have more. He only had 29 touchdowns and he had 14 interceptions.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, I know we had a lot of interceptions, and I know we didn't have many touchdowns because Justin Jefferson is like in a touchdown deficit, man. Like Justin Jefferson should have way more touchdowns than what he's getting. So I knew he wasn't
Yeah.
throwing many touchdowns. And when you watch those games, it's like, dude, it's like it's just nothing long, nothing awesome. It's always like short. Anyways, dude, yeah.
So Dak Prescott had only 23. I mean, he did
But
miss
he
1,
games, 3 games.
he missed 5 games.
Okay.
He had 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Okay, and then what about? So do you like Brock Purdy more than those, or Brock Purdy more than Matthew Stafford?
So this is the thing, right? Tom or Brock Purdy. What's Brock Purdy going to do? Right? This is going to be next year. He's going to have a whole defenses are going to have a whole year of tape on this guy. Well, I mean half a year, whatever. Enough of a year. 49ers are going to be good. They're definitely going to have a quarterback controversy in training camp. Is it going to be Brock Purdy? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Brock Purdy's cheaper and he's, taking you to the NFC Championship. I think you would ride with him. I think for consistency, you will want to stay with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, so like I'm thinking, anybody if Brock Purdy keeps the job and he's in the Kyle Shanahan system, I'm taking Brock Purdy over Matthew Stafford, even though I do think that I think they're giving a lot more control to Sean McVay this season. I think they're gonna, and they already said they're gonna hit heavy offense in the draft, even though they don't have a lot of draft picks. I would not be surprised, dude, if Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay and the Rams rebound big time next year. But I do believe in the 49ers team way more. The 49ers roster is far superior to the Rams, so I could see that. And then Desean Watson, Jason, do you feel like Desean Watson deserves the same tier as Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy?
Well, let's see this, right? I want to go back to what you were just saying. The Rams organization, the team had a crazy year, right? There was so much off the field drama going on with that team. How the hell were they supposed to perform with everything that was going on? Overall, they still got a good defense. They have Jalen Ramsey, they have Bobby Wagner, and they got Aaron Donald still on that defense, right? I think you're right. I think next year they're going to improve. We just gotta get rid of the distractions, right? You need a healthy Matthew Stafford. Maybe pick up a running back somehow. Go out there and get yourself a little Tony Pollard. That would make a tremendous incline in your offense. What? Increase, progress, do better, improve. Definitely improve your offense.
That's good, Jason. That's good. You're a wordsmith. That's amazing.
Whatever, Tyler. Tyler, I watch your videos and I see you come up with these words, and I'm just like, how the hell do you know this stuff? And we went to the same junior high and college and high school and a little bit of college.
Hey, we went to college together. You saw how I did it.
Yeah. It worked for you, but it didn't work for me. Anyway, what was your question? Who'd you have? Oh,
do you think Desean Watson? Do you think he deserves to be, like with Brock Purdy, or do you think he deserves to be up in the Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins?
I think if you're going to wait on anybody, Desean Watson is the guy you're going to be able to wait for, because Desean Watson is the guy that the way he looked this year, he's going to fall back. He's going to fall back, right? He's also playing for the Browns. There's nothing sexy about the Browns except those Chubbs, those Nick Chubbs. But Deshaun Watson, he's a good quarterback. Now he's going to have an offseason. He's going to have a training camp with this wide receiver core, with this offense, with his offensive coordinator, with his head coach. I think we're going to see a definitely an increase in production value with Deshaun Watson over this next year.
All right, Jason. No, I think you're right about taking if you're gonna take a risk on somebody late. Like his upside is so much, but dude, I hate Deshaun Watson. Number one, I don't even want to own him. But if I had to, if I want to win fantasy, maybe I'd take a roll the dice on him. But I wouldn't want him to be my number one quarterback. That's for sure. And then Jason Russell Wilson. You got to imagine he's going to rebound next year. Do you think he deserves to be above? Do you think he deserves to be like with Deshaun Watson and Brock Purdy?
I hate Russell Wilson. I hate him. I hate him so much. I am not a fan. I am literally right now playing with my heart instead of my brain. Russell Wilson needs to be on the bench, and then you need to go trade for Drew Luck and bring him back.
So who'd you rather have, Derek Carr or Russell Wilson, Jason? Like, I know that.
Well, that's kind of weird to say because where's Derek Carr going? They obviously they have said that he's no longer a Raider and he's going somewhere, right?
Let's just say he goes to man. If he go, let's say he went to Miami.
I would probably want. Oh my gosh! All right, Tyler, you beat it out of me, you bastard. You. I would probably want Russell Wilson over Derek Carr.
Really? In Miami? Would you really?
Well, I mean, shoot, man. Derek Carr has had weapons for most of his career, and
right.
He is not. I mean, he got paid a bunch of money, but he's not. The Raiders are not doing as well as everyone expected him to do, right? The Raiders are supposed to be better than what they are, and the first person you always go after, besides the head coach, is the quarterback.
What do you think if Sean Payton went to the Denver Broncos? Would that change your mind at all?
Oh, that would push like Russell Wilson to probably the second or third tier.
He'd be like in the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers tier with Jared Goff.
I think even.
Lamar Jackson within Lamar Jackson tier, maybe.
Dude,
huh?
Yes, I would put him in probably like.
Yeah, because I mean, and so he just went back with the second
weapons.
Yeah, and he just went back with it for a second interview with him. But I think he needs like they're talking about giving him some defensive coaches. I can't remember who it is, who's finalists there. But I'm like, dude, you better give Russell Wilson like the best offensive mind you can. All right, so Jason, here we go. You ready for this?
Yeah.
You have Patrick Mahomes in a tier of his own. We've got Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, actually, we should do this. It was Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. That's what we actually had anyways. And then Justin, so that's a tier. And then we have Justin Fields. We've got Trevor Lawrence, then Justin Fields. And then I think, I can't remember if we had Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Justin Herbert, but I can't remember what the order of those three were. If we have Justin Herbert over Lamar Jackson or what. And then I think we had it that way. I think we had Kyler Murray over Lamar Jackson, then Lamar Jackson, then Justin Herbert. Because Justin Herbert's defensive coach. And then here's another tier. We have got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. We have Jared Goff. No, we have Geno Smith, Jared Goff, then Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. That is a tier.
Yeah.
And then we have Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins as a tier. And then we have Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. And I don't even know what the order of that we decided on that last final five was.
I don't know, but
it's all kind of the same tier. So
Brock Purdy is also another guy that you could probably get late and do better than a lot of these players.
Yeah, so like I would take Brock Purdy probably. I mean, it's the resurrection of Matthew Stafford is pretty interesting. Same thing with Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. I mean, these guys all have can be like top 10 quarterbacks if they get revived, And Brock Purdy is not one of those, but he is interesting because he's on the Kyle Shanahan offense with all these weapons. So
I know it's a little bit different when it comes to quarterbacks, but next year Matthew Stafford is going to be 34.
Yeah, and he's an old 34, man. Like, dude, on those Lions team, he was getting killed. Kill, 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 kill.
Oh.
All right, Jason. Well, that's all we have for the top 20 quarterbacks. How do you feel about that?
I feel okay. I want to know where you have like Tua, Daniel Jones.
I had Matt. I was gonna have Tua and Matt Jones next, but I was like, God, dude, like I would love Tua.
Daniel
Oh,
Jones.
Daniel Jones. I think I said Mac Jones.
Daniel Jones ended the season as number 9. And now you have him as a top 25.
You're right. God, dude.
So
It's so because when you look at these names, you're like, how am I going to put Daniel Jones over like Russell Wilson? Brock. Who'd you rather have, Brock Purdy or Daniel Jones? Like, I'd rather have Brock Purdy.
no, I mean yes. I'm not saying
No, but you're right, dude. No, but you're totally right. Like, there's some names that can totally break. Like the last like 5 to 10 players. Like I think the first like 3 tiers are totally set. But other than that, dude, I think it with quarterback, it's kind of weird. And that's why you don't want to be stuck with Jason. Like, who was in this tier that we're talking about was Aaron Rodgers. Who did we pick? Trey Lance, Russell Wilson last year. And what did that do for us, dude? So I think that you and I are both going to go way higher than this. We're not messing around with this tier regardless. But this is where it gets confusing. And that's not where you want to be with the quarterback on your team anyways.
I'd be surprised if Daniel Jones even gets drafted as a number 1 quarterback next year, because like I said, in quotation marks, it's not sexy. No, Daniel Jones is not bringing sexy back. And also, I mean, there's a good chance. Let's see what happens in this draft. There's a good chance that Daniel Jones gets replaced for next year. That is a big dog. His face is all in my face, and it's weird. I feel uncomfortable.
Well, she jumped all the way up here and got real big because it's feeding time, Jason.
Oh, is it time to FEED the
DOGs? You say that because that's what I say online.
Yeah.
I feel like these DOGs know all the WORDS I'm talking about.
All right, Tyler, what about, you were high on this guy. What about Davis Mills?
I was high on Davis Mills, Jason. I was high. And then he needs an offensive coach, dude. Like, he can be saved. But Lovie Smith was, I mean, as much as I like Lovie Smith for that team and everything, like they needed Lovie Smith. And I wish he would have got, he needed to continue to have a job there. But yeah, Davis Mills, I think, would succeed with Sean Payton. Davis Mills, I'd put him in like a tier with Dak Prescott, but it's just not going to happen.
I mean, come on. Anybody with Sean Payton is going to improve tremendously. Lovie Smith was not the guy for Davis Mills. Who was the quarterback for the Bears when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts?
Rex Grossman.
Rex Garbage Man? Is that what we called him? Trash.
He actually played, like, if you go look at those stats, dude, I bet you he threw for like 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, like each game, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, and they were like 1-yarders.
You're so negative, Jason. You're so negative.
Okay, what about Ryan Tannehill? Yeah, you didn't say anything about him. Matt, you know what's crazy? Okay, check this out. So you got so this is ranking, right? You got Andy Dalton, Mac Jones, Brissett, Garoppolo, Matt Ryan, Tannehill, Kenny Pickett, Baker Mayfield, Taylor Heinicke, and Carson Wentz, Matthew Stafford, and then Brock Purdy right before Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, it's hard. And I did this so fast.
Okay.
I literally just looked at like the top scoring. I went to our ESPN Fantasy League, went to players, all players available, no quarterbacks available, and then I searched by research and then scoring and then average. So I went by average points per game that they actually played. And yeah, like Daniel Webb, maybe, I can't remember his name. He was like for the Giants, he played one game and scored 20 points. Like, yeah, dude, like he was up there. But no, I just went by average points per game. You know, I try not to factor in injuries too much. I just want to see who has like upside and stuff. So that's kind of what I went off of. So I'm sure I missed some because it was pretty fast, but like I think that we're set in stone like in our top 15. But once you get past your top 15, like, dude, you can go so many different ways on the quarterbacks.
I think it's great that you said Tyler Webb. I was like, you know why? Because the one memory I've had of that guy is that when we were doing our Thanksgiving touch touch football, you know, when I have 12 receptions for 235 yards and 6 touchdowns, I was guarding Tyler Webb and he caught the ball and then you know I push him because he's going towards out of bounds, so I push him and this guy trips over the orange cone that I bought from Walmart. He trips over it and he hyperextends his leg and he's like, ah. Jason, how could you? How could you, Jason? I was like, I'm sorry, bro, that you
I thought
not
I was there.
you were there. You were there for
You
everything.
didn't score 6 touchdowns. I was like, how if I was covering you, you didn't score SH,
Because
dog.
you were never covering me. You were my quarterback, man.
That's when I threw an amazing quarterback, or that's when I threw an amazing pass to you.
You were my quarterback. And I remember like everyone's like, all right, everybody, we're doing Super Bowl at Tyler Webb's house. I'm like, bro, I don't think he wants me to go there, dude. I just freaking I just freaking I just freaking edit it or edit it. I just freaking injured the guy who pays rent there. I don't think he's gonna want me to even show up, man. I hyperextended his knee over an orange cone, and because of that, the team lost. But for the record, when Tyler cannot throw a football, but when he's thrown it to me, that dude looked like it was like a Tom Brady, Randy Moss type stuff. He
So
was
I
a
could throw a
tight
baseball.
spiral. Yeah.
I could throw a
Right,
baseball
dude.
90 plus, but I can't. I could when I throw a football, it's end over end, no matter what I do.
Oh
I'll
shoot,
put
we're less than a minute, dude. So
I'll
this
put a bruise on your chest, but it'll be a wounded. Be a wounded duck.
for real.
Yeah, but man, I remember that. I was like, man, I threw a spiral. It was like I actually threw a spiral to you, Jason, and you caught it.
I know I caught it with my chest. It was perfect because you did a pump fake before that, and I scored a touchdown. And I was like, ah, Randy Moss. Actually, I was more like, T.O.
All
Anyway,
right,
we gotta end this stuff.
all right, Jason, you want to end this for us?